Star Wars 7x7 episode 3039. We're going to start looking at Tales of the Jedi. Yeah, there's been a lot going on in the world of Star Wars storytelling, but Star Wars also dropped Tales of the Jedi, a 6-episode limited series on the 26th, the same day as Chapter 8 of the Andor series came out. And so over the next couple of days, we're going to look at the Ahsoka stories, today focusing on life and death. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So this is a full spoiler episode for Life and Death, so we'll just get that out of the way quickly. This is the one that they showed in full at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim back in May. And to the best of my recollection, it is exactly what we saw there. They didn't do any last minute tweaks or anything like that. And it centers around a really interesting idea about the Togruta, and this seems to be part of their culture, the way that it's presented. The fact that once a Togruta family has a child, that it's about a year later that they actually take the child on a hunt. So we're talking about a baby who can just barely walk, is pre-verbal, and yet is being brought out on a hunt. But this is a thing. And Ahsoka's mother is giving Ahsoka lessons as they're walking out in the wilderness to say, there's life everywhere and you should value it and you should honor it. And how much of this is actually getting through to baby Ahsoka, who knows? And then this is followed soon after with the shooting of a Kai buck, which is for food. According to the mother, it's, they're never taking more than they need. And she also tells baby Ahsoka that you should not fear death and that you should face it. And it is important to note that this is not killing for the sport of it. This is killing for sustenance. So, fair points under their circumstances. But that, of course, is presented in a very beautiful and organized and calm and peaceful way. However, the lessons come into play very quickly, of course, when a giant tiger-like creature shows up. If there's an official name for the creature, I don't know it. The audio description just says tiger-like creature, and it's not named in the dialogue or anything like that, which incidentally, these episodes, these Tales of the Jedi things, are supposed to be like tone poems, according to Dave Filoni, which suggests that the dialogue is generally minimal and almost unnecessary to the storytelling. So there's a lot of dialogue in Togruta, and I swear to you, if they had done the entire episode in Togruta, I think I would have been okay with it. So of course the tiger runs away with baby Ahsoka, and the townspeople show up, but they're not able to do anything to the tiger, and ultimately the tiger and baby Ahsoka face off. I think we are supposed to get the idea from this moment that maybe the lessons that Ahsoka's mother has been teaching baby Ahsoka have sunk in somehow, and so the baby is not afraid because life is a part of death and death is a part of life, and so you're not supposed to fear death, you're supposed to face it. I will say it's a little hard to buy if you're looking at this from a realistic perspective, but if you decided to look at this as more of a fairy tale kind of thing, if you decided to say it was part of George Mann's Myths and Fables or Dark Legends or something like that, then you can kind of wrap your head around it a little bit better. You can allow for the absolutely fantastical conclusion of Ahsoka taming and riding the tiger. And naturally, everybody is awestruck by this, and the elder in the community says Ahsoka is Jedi, and I'm not gonna lie, got chills when she said it in Anaheim. I got chills when I watched it again just the other day. Yeah, it's a beautiful moment and really awesome. And if you stay for the credits with this thing, you'll find out that a couple of the folks involved in this episode have done Star Wars work before. So Ahsoka's dad is played by Sunil Malhotra, and Sunil was the voice of Jinx, who is a Jedi Padawan in the Clone Wars in the Padawan Lost and Wookiee Hunt episodes. And then one random villager is Noshir Dalal, who was Varko Gray in Star Wars Squadrons, the video game, and more currently is Vice Admiral Rampart in The Bad Batch. But the biggest name of the three is Janina Gavankar, who is Iden Versio in the story mode for Battlefront 2. She is the voice of Ahsoka's mother in this episode. So overall, I liked it. I mean, not necessarily consequential per se. That's okay. I liked it. I really enjoyed it, and I definitely enjoy it more when I look at it from the perspective of being sort of a fable or a myth or a little fairy tale kind of situation. And that's what I've got for you for Life and Death, which is the first of the Ahsoka stories in Tales of the Jedi, and that is going to do it for this episode of the podcast. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it, as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.